Kevin Potter, and I'm the proud father of 3 beautiful girls. It's an honor to help welcome the president because one of my girls may not be here without Obamacare. That's a fact. Almost 6 years ago, our middle daughter, Erin, was diagnosed with leukemia. She was 3 years old, and for the next few years were a roller coaster. But our little girl was determined. She fought hard, and after 2.5 years of chemotherapy, she appeared to be cured. But 18 months later, Erin relapsed, and her condition was critical. The doctors said she needed a bone marrow transplant. We knew it would be expensive, and she was already close to her lifetime cap with their insurance policy. But then they said Obamacare had banned lifetime limits a few months earlier, which meant Erin's transplant would be covered. You can imagine that lifted a huge burden off of our shoulders. We could have lost it all to pay for a transplant. We wouldn't have had it. And like any child's parents, we would have done it. But because of our president, we didn't have to. We could focus on Erin. She gave us hope. She made it through the severe workup to her transplant. And she made it through the transplant in the first 100 days after the transplant. In the first 6 months. She seemed to be winning the fight. This past March of this year brought horrible news again of another relapse. Erin needed a second bone marrow transplant, and her chances of surviving were in the teens to single digits. Even if the chemotherapy could put her into her leukemia into remission, we worried if this next transplant would work. Hi Tom, I hear ya. We had to ask our 8-year-old daughter if she wanted to even do this anymore. Erin, she said yes. Big sister Annie, they wanted to fight. Erin said that she would do whatever it takes. So we went through another grueling transplant, and now Erin is doing amazingly well. And again, she's here today. But she kept at it. Erin never lost hope. She never ever gave up. She is a real fighter. But it wasn't easy to enact Obamacare. But President Obama is a fighter too. He fought for Erin and millions of Americans like her. Through the ups and downs, he kept fighting and fighting. The other side tried to make Obamacare a bad word. I love Obamacare. I love the word. It shows me, as a father, how much he does care. As a father, I couldn't be more grateful. As an American, I couldn't be prouder. We know our president means it to his core when he says, we are all in this together. That's who we are, that is Ohio, and that is certainly America. And that's why we trust him. And now we need to fight for him. We need to stand with him, vote for him, and help him move our country forward. Yeah. Please join me in welcoming our President of the United States. Yeah.
Let me begin by just saying how grateful I am for Kevin for that great introduction, but also how proud I am of Erin and her sisters and their whole family. There they are right there. say is that Erin, she was pretty excited about meeting me, but she saw Justin Bieber the other day. So I'm like the second most exciting person she's met in the last few days. But, my understanding also is that this band right here just won the state championship. This band in Ohio right here. Congratulations. And the football team is in its first playoff game tonight. So the Cardinals got a lot going on right now. And despite all that, the fact that you guys still came out, I'm grateful for. So thank you. Now, for the past several days, all of us have been focused on one of the worst hurricanes in our lifetimes.
Sandy.
And each day, I've been getting on calls with mayors and governors, county officials, just trying to make sure that people are getting help. And I tell them that the entire country is behind them. We mourn those who were lost. We will walk with the people whose lives have been upended by the storm every step of the way in this long, hard road for recovery. And I hope everybody understands this will be
That's some fun.
not just a couple of weeks, but it's going to be months of recovery for a lot of these families. So those of you who can still help out through the Red Cross, please do so. And for the first responders who are here today, it's just a reminder of how important you are, because when you see our firefighters, our police officers, our EMS folks out there every single day working, it's amazing. And so, despite this tragedy, we've also been inspired by what we've seen over the last several days, over the last week. You see heroes running into buildings, wading into water to help their fellow citizens. Neighbors helping neighbors cope with tragedy. Leaders of different political parties working together to fix what's broken. It's a spirit that says no matter how bad a storm is, no matter how tough times are, we're all in this together. Our lives are full as one nation and as one people. And that spirit has guided this country along its improbable journey for more than 2 centuries. It's carried us through the trials and tribulations of the last 4 years. Remember, in 2008, we were in the middle of 2 wars and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
Oh, yeah.
Today, our businesses have created nearly 5.5 million new jobs. The auto industry is back on top. Home values are on the rise. We're less dependent on foreign oil than any time in the last 20 years. Because of the service and the sacrifice of our brave men and women in uniform. The war in Iraq is over. The war in Afghanistan is winding down. Al-Qaeda is on the run. Progress these past 4 years. But Ohio, we're here today because we all know we've got more work to do. I love you back, man. We've got more work to do. As long as there's a single American who wants a job and still can't find work, as long as there are families who are working harder and harder but are still falling behind, as long as there's a child anywhere in this country who's languishing in poverty or barred from opportunity, we've got more work to do. Our fight goes on. Because we know that we know this country can't thrive, can't succeed without a growing, strong middle class. Our fight goes on because America is always at its best when everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody's doing their fair share.